Bitcoin technical analysis for May 22nd, 2026. Bitcoin miner Mara spent 4.3 million on CEO security in 2025 as crypto attacks rise. Rising security threats are forcing miners to allocate significant capital to protection rather than operations and expansion. These increased operational costs could compress profit margins across the mining sector, potentially reducing hash rate growth and creating selling pressure as miners liquidate Bitcoin holdings to fund security infrastructure. SpaceX IPO brings bad news for tech stocks. But what about Bitcoin? The highly anticipated SpaceX public offering could trigger a massive capital rotation away from growth assets. Including crypto, institutional investors may liquidate Bitcoin positions to participate in the IPO, while retail investors chase the space company's debut. This liquidity drain typically creates downward pressure on risk assets like Bitcoin during major IPO events. Bitcoin price record 90-day uptrend resembles bull market rally, according to new analysis. The current 90-day momentum pattern mirrors historical bull market phases that preceded major breakouts above $100,000. This technical structure suggests institutional accumulation is building, with the sustained uptrend indicating strong underlying demand that could fuel the next major rally phase towards six-figure Bitcoin prices. ETF flows show mixed signals with total net inflows at 57.62 BE. But yesterday's outflows hit 190 min. Daily trading volume reached 3.2 B, with total net assets now at 106.92 BE, indicating institutional interest remains strong despite short-term profit-taking. Weekly moving averages. Bitcoin at 76,743 lotto sits above the 20-week SMA at $75,050, but well below the 50-week at 94,036 odds. The wide gap between current price and the 50-week average signals the market is still recovering from previous bearish momentum. The 200-week SMA at $61,372 provides strong long-term support. Weekly Bollinger Bands. Price at 76,743 trades in the middle of the bands between 58,899 lower and 91,112 upper. This positioning suggests neutral momentum with room to move in either direction. The proximity to the 20-week SMA at 75,005 indicates consolidation phase continues. Weekly RSI at 45.9. Momentum is tilting bearish below the neutral 50 line. This reading suggests selling pressure is building on longer timeframes. A break below 40 would confirm bearish momentum, while a bounce back above 50 would signal renewed buying interest from institutional players. Weekly MACD at negative $4,102 versus signal line at negative 6,132. The histogram shows bullish divergence building. This positive spread of 2030 suggests the weekly downtrend may be losing steam. Watch for a potential bullish crossover that could signal the start of a new uptrend cycle. Daily moving averages. Bitcoin at $76,750 trades, below the 20-day SMA at $79,316 and the 200-day at $80,791, indicating short-term bearish bias. However, price holds above the 50-day SMA at $76,408, which is acting as critical support. A break below this level would accelerate selling. Daily Bollinger Bands. Price at $76,750 sits near the lower band at $75,866, suggesting oversold conditions. The upper band at $82,766 represents strong resistance. This compressed position near the lower band often precedes either a bounce or a breakdown through support levels. Daily RSI at 44.56. Momentum remains bearish, below neutral territory. This level indicates sellers maintain control, but oversold conditions are approaching. The 40 level below represents critical support, where bounce attempts typically emerge. A drop below 35 would signal accelerated selling pressure. Daily MACD at positive 50.73 but signal line much higher at $647.14, showing bearish momentum despite positive readings. This negative spread of nearly $600 indicates selling pressure is intensifying. Watch for the MACD line to cross below zero, which would confirm the bearish trend continuation. Hourly moving averages. Bitcoin at 76,750 trades, below all key averages, with a 20-hour at 77,356, 50-hour at 77,437, and 200-hour at 78,030 os. This bearish alignment shows short-term selling pressure dominates. Price needs to reclaim 77,400 to shift the immediate trend. Hourly Bollinger Bands at 76,750. Price sits below the 20-hour SMA at $77,356 and approaches the lower band at $76,826. This positioning near the lower band suggests immediate oversold conditions. The upper band at $77,887 represents the first major resistance level to watch. Hourly RSI at 36.78. Momentum is deeply bearish and approaching oversold territory below 30. This reading suggests a short-term bounce could emerge soon as selling pressure becomes extreme. However, sustained strength requires a move back above 40 to confirm buyer re-engagement. Hourly MACD at negative 125.39s versus signal at negative 53.46. The spread shows accelerating bearish momentum. This negative divergence of 72 indicates selling pressure is intensifying on short time frames. Watch for stabilization in this spread to signal potential bounce conditions. Buy level 76,408 at the 50-day SMA, which has provided dynamic support in previous pullbacks. Sell target $82,766 at the upper Bollinger Band, where price historically mean reverts recommendation. Neutral with RSI at 45 and bearish MACD crossover, suggesting patience over aggressive positioning. Thanks for watching the Morning Bell's technical analysis. Check out our daily TA shorts, podcast episodes, and trading courses. Subscribe on YouTube for more market insights and analysis.